I can't really help you. I don't have an idea for you this week.
Then go look for an idea.
Where does inspiration come from? From inside us? From around us? I didn't know, but they needed me to find mine. We spent so much time, every day, worrying about the things that didn't even matter. When it's the small things that make the world so beautiful. And then I found it. My inspiration.
Wait, Will, shouldn't you be in sports? Why are you here?
I don't know. Shouldn't you be doing some sort of election thing? Where's my green screen?
Well, I'm Simone.
And I'm Willoughby.
And welcome to Show 12.
Come to the rally choir at the beginning of lunch today to join in on ASB's Mannequin Challenge. Oh, and you need to be in holiday spirit wear. This is a great way to show off your club or organization spirit.
After months of demonstrations, construction on the part of the Dakota access pipeline that would go through Standing Rock Sioux territory has been halted. Here's Caressa Wong to cover what happened.
On Sunday, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers announced that it would not be granting an easement under Lake Oahe for the Dakota access pipeline. The Corps further stated that it plans to prepare an environmental impact statement for alternative routes. The decision is a major victory for the Standing Rock Sioux tribe and all who stood in solidarity over the last few months. Even so, the water protectors are not leaving.
They're staying at camp. They are, very untrustworthy of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Dakota Access Pipeline has already said that they'll continue drilling. They believe that the denial of the easement is just a ploy, and it's really hard to say given the United States history of kind of going back on their word, and with the change of administration coming up next month. There's a lot of different factors.
Nothing stops the incoming Trump administration from resuming construction, and, in fact, an official statement from one of the companies behind the pipeline, Energy Transfer, reads, ETP and SXL fully expect to complete construction of the pipeline without any additional rerouting in and around Lake Oahe. Nothing this administration has done today changes that in any way. While those at the Oseti-Sakoan camp are celebrating this decision, none of us are sure if this fight is over just yet.
The denial of the easement is it's a step in the right direction, or it's a win in a sense, but it's not a victory.
With the future uncertain, water protectors are still committed to their cause. This was Caressa Wong. Back to you, Simone.
Thanks, Caressa. If you're a sophomore or older, register now for the spring semester retail marketing class. Class begins on January 17th and meets from 3 o'clock to 5:30 p.m. Students will learn skills in merchandising and retail sales. Class is free. For registration information, please see Mrs. Young in the Career Center.
Reaching out for help may not always be easy, but it is always necessary. Here's Andre with part 3 of APN's mental health documentary.
Earlier, we briefly touched on the stigma behind mental health issues, which can be found in any corner of the earth. But here in Arcadia, California, home to one of the highest scoring high schools in the country, the academic standards are elevated in comparison with the rest of the nation. Within Chinese culture, education is seen as the top priority in a child's life. Here, the population is comprised of mostly Chinese and Asian American students, and a large portion of those students hold immense pressure on their shoulders to maintain a perfect academic record, and any ramifications created through the stress of these expectations is silenced out of fear of standing out. Mental illness is taboo.
Asian American, it's really hard because at first, my parents didn't get it. When I was finally able to come around and recognize that I was depressed, my parents weren't really accepting of it. They were like, it's just a phase, or it's just a teen thing. Maybe it's this Western culture that's influencing you.
What I frequently heard was that parents did not want their children to come forward because of the effect it would have in their record or their reputation, that somehow word would get out and tarnish their futures, that the effects would be irreversible if any action is taken. In reality, the widespread stigma has caused a sense of isolation amongst those who feel this way.
I definitely brought it up with my mom a lot. And she always deflected me to my sister because my sister also has similar problems. I never received any real help because my mom is very much someone who believes you can power through everything.
And this doesn't necessarily apply to just Asian students here at Arcadia. The students of Arcadia High School recently created the Voices of Ability Club, formed to communicate with the students who want to maintain the stress, manage their lives accordingly, and bring awareness to those affected by mental illness.
I started this club because I wanted to provide a community or environment where people with or without disabilities can meet and kind of discuss these things, because I feel there's not enough information that's going around, not many people are educated, and there's a lot of stereotypes and stigma that's attached to people with this, physical and mental disabilities. And I personally struggled with a mental disability disability.
So what I and many others recommend, if you're feeling as if you need to contact somebody, go to somebody you trust, like a counselor or one of your teachers, and let them know discreetly. This information will not be released to any of the students, and the counselor can give you information on local therapists, some of which have low to no cost sessions. Your next course of action depends on what works for you. No issue is too small to seek out about.
From a person who used to have really bad depression to the point where I wouldn't come to school, you can get help.
Talk to each other or talk to adults, look to somebody for some guidance.
I'm reminded of a student that I saw not so long ago at Arcadia High, and she told me that she spends every day at school pretending to be somebody else. And I think that a lot of students look around them and see everybody putting on this face and thinking that everybody else is fine. What's wrong with me? You're not alone, and that there is help out there.
Overcoming cultural and social barriers is a difficult feat to accomplish, and ignorance is a disease we will never completely rid ourselves of as people. But if there are days where you feel an overwhelming sense of hopelessness, remember that there are millions like you who feel that the deeply entangled negative connotations of your condition keep them trapped in. Whether it be white, black, Asian, or Hispanic, if you see something, speak up. If you hear something, speak up. Because if we choose to remain silent, then the cries for help become muffled and then subside, leaving the millions to fight and wander alone in the darkness.
Thanks, Andre. Parking contracts for next semester are due today. You can find them on the ASB webpage. The parking lottery will be held on Monday at lunch. Permits must be purchased by December 20th at 3:15.
I maintain that it's not really the holiday season until you've been thoroughly saturated with holiday music. In the mood to catch the holiday spirit? Orchestra 2 will be performing on December 14th, and Orchestra 3 and Choir will be performing on December 15th. Purchase tickets from your favorite music student.
Last Friday, a fire in Oakland took dozens of lives. Here's Max Tedford with the details.
Last Friday, during a dance party at a warehouse in Oakland, California, a fire broke out, killing 36 people. The main questions on everyone's minds is why and how did this happen? By the time the fire department arrived, the fire was already raging, and when the firefighters attempted to enter the building to rescue people, they were blocked by cluttered rooms. Inside were multiple tenements, crowded with furniture. Trash was piled around the 10,000 square foot space. Jill Snyder, head of the San Francisco branch of the ATF, states that there was no fire suppression system nor an alarm system installed in the warehouse. She also states that neither of the two staircases from the second floor led to an exit, causing people to be trapped inside during the fire. She states that while no cause for the fire has been found, a refrigerator and other electronic appliances are being investigated closely.
It's been really hard. A lot of people had events and canceled them or changed them. And I think everybody in the arts community here feels the same pain. And so the best thing for healing has been to share that with the people who understand it. I don't think that people are going to stop living together, because living in a building that is full of other artists is a really inspirational experience. Going to the events that they host is a very inspirational experience, and it sort of provides vitality.
The owner, Chorton, insists she only leased the warehouse as a studio space, not as a residential. The administration has revealed that there is a history of reports of fire and building code violations that they have failed to investigate with the warehouse. However, and whyever this happened, it's important to remember that this was a huge loss of life for this community, which we at APN offer our condolences to. I'm Max Tedford. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Max. Girl Up will be having a T-Pumps fundraiser in order to sponsor a classroom for refugee girls in Uganda. Pre-order from now till Wednesday from any Girl Up member and pick up your drinks after school on Wednesday, the last day of finals.
We haven't heard from Club Corner in a while. What have they been up to? Here's Kelly to catch us up to speed.
Hey Apaches, Club Corner's back, and this week's club, Red Cross Club.
What Red Cross does, I think, is really special, and more than just a service club, we offer a lot of training such as CPR and first aid training, which is something that is really unique for a high school student.
Their training allows members to provide their services to various local events. Red Cross is a chapter located on Huntington where many of their events are held. It allows them to reach out beyond our community to international organizations like the Armed Forces.
I think that's what really sets apart Red Cross from the other volunteer clubs on campus.
Red Cross Club meets Mondays at lunch in the multi-purpose room. They're still accepting new members for next semester, but remember that next week is dead week, so there's no meeting. That's all for Club Corner. I'm Kelly. Back to you guys in studio.
Attention prisoners. I mean students who are currently enrolled in an AP or honors course. If you want to drop to a TA or requesting a level change for second semester, return your completed petition form by today. Requests that are submitted later on will be considered, but are not guaranteed due to limitations in the master schedule.
Yo, seniors, Jostens will be at the Rally Court December 15th and 16th from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. to take your cap, gown, and ring orders for graduation. Please stop by the ASB office if you need an ordering packet.
Hey all you Apache athletes, do you want to join varsity football next year? If so, Coach Pollocky will be hosting a team meeting for those who are interested. The meeting will be held next Friday, the 16th, at J112 at lunchtime. If you show up, you might be next year's Friday night highlight.
So, if you're here, then who's the sports anchor?
It's Sophia.
Oh, neat. And now it's time for
Apache Sports.
Welcome back, Apaches. This week was full of new beginnings for our winter sports, from girls and boys soccer starting off league and girls water polo diving into their new season. So, let's get rolling. Tuesday, boys soccer went headstrong against Pasadena. Did their determination pay off? Here's what happened. In the first quarter, the Apaches went in confident with high hopes and motivation. Defense was fast, but not fast enough because after one too many open crosses and lack of communication when passing, Pasadena scored a goal on Arcadia. The second quarter, the boys continued to put up a fight and were inches from scoring with their offensive teamwork and speed. But with 2 minutes left on the clock, the game ended 1-0 Pasadena.
I really like our chances this season. We know we're not the most talented team out there, but like our coach keeps stressing, if we stick with his system, which is basically to play simple soccer, then I think we could do very well this season.
But it's still early in the season, so don't let one loss kick you down. Now let's cross on over to Amer and Horace with the rest of the stories.
This past Tuesday, girls water polo played San Marino and drowned the competition. The game started off in the first quarter with a high intensity and a fast pace with our goalie, Natalie Wazel, making key saves to allow Arcadia to maintain their focus on offense. After San Marino took a 1-0 lead near the end of the first quarter, Katie the goalie and scored with 17 seconds left to tie the game at 1-1 leading to the second quarter. The harassing defense from both teams made it arduous to score, but Lucy Zhang made a key goal to tie the game at 2-2 after San Marino scored early into the second. However, it was in the third quarter when Arcadia really started to pull away with critical goals from Katie Nagolian again, Colleen Cook, Haley Harvey, and Susan Harrison. HS took a commanding 7-4 lead into the fourth. Towards the end of the fourth, Arcadia scored 2 more goals to make the score 9-4, but San Marino wouldn't let up and scored 3 goals within the last minute and a half. Thankfully, Arcadia's swarming defense prevented any upsets from happening and won 9-7. Great game, girls water polo, and good luck on your next game on Thursday.
Girls varsity soccer is heading their way to a great season after the game against Pasadena Tuesday night. Like always, the girls went in strong and committed. However, in the first quarter, the girls played a little weak because of the mistakes when passing with a lack of focus. But in the second quarter, they progressed and stepped out their passing game along with their unstoppable hustle and teamwork. Number 23 Eden Hardy did a great job hustling through Pasadena's defense and scoring an easy point for Arcadia.
I do not think we worked together at all. We connected probably 3 passes in the beginning, but then as the game went on, we started connecting. We connected a lot of passes actually.
Number 3 Allison Hong did an amazing job playing defense considering the fact that she usually doesn't play defense, and did a great job connecting with the midfield. But their hard work paid off because they won with a final score of 4-0. Great game, girls. Good luck in your next game.
Following the eye, was 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 following the pack, all swallowed in their coats, with scars of red tied round their throats, to keep their little heads from falling in the snow, and I turned round.
Well, I think it's time for us to go back to where we belong.
Sounds about right. Be sure to check out all our social media accounts. Trust me, we make quality content.
This has been Willoughby.
And this has been Simone.
Peace. Hey, you know my Thai sings?
No, that's the coolest. Show me.